There it is, revving the engines. Want to remind you, be sure to get signed up at ValleyNewsLive.com for the Monster Jam Triple Threat Series Experience giveaway. Just go to our website, click on the contest tab, and you too could be a lucky winner. I want to thank Monster Jam Triple Threat Series for obviously sponsoring this opportunity. So winter injuries to your back, nothing new. Sometimes you can fall down, you can get a fender bender, all different kind of things can go on in these sort of icy and bizarre weather patterns, if you will. So Dr. Adam is with us today to talk about some different ways that he can do to make sure that you stay healthy and good in case you end up maybe having a little backache or neck ache or something like that. Welcome back to the show. It's
absolutely.
Great to have you.
Thanks for having me back.
Let's talk at first. I mean, I think some people, you see a lot of bumps, if you will, now in vehicles because of how the roads are. But you and I were talking before we went on camera, and you said, Chris, sometimes the speed can be really slow and still can cause issues.
Yeah, and that's something that people really don't realize and kind of minimize a little bit of, it was just a little fender bender. But studies that are out there, one done by Yale actually showed that 8.2 miles per hour is all it takes that impact to cause ligamentous damage of the spine. Now, that ligamentous damage can obviously lead into many other chronic issues down the road because not all injuries show up right after that impact.
So let's say you get into a tiny fender bender. I mean, even if you feel fine, is it a good idea just to come see you? And can you sort of do an analysis and go, okay, you're good, or hey, this kind of got tweaked, or?
Yeah, absolutely. We always recommend getting checked out by a medical professional, especially when it is a musculoskeletal condition. Maybe it's a sprain strain that hasn't quite showed up yet. Like you mentioned, there are different tests and specific pictures, things that we can do to make sure that, hey, we think you're clear of any injuries that could be present, and at least giving you that guidance of who you should be seeing, if not alternative care.
What are some of the most common things you see from people coming into you at this time of year?
So with all the car accidents that we're seeing, it's a wide list of things that can happen. Anything from, bumps and bruises on your knees from that impact all the way to broken ribs. Most commonly seen things like sprain strains, head injuries, and then most commonly is whiplash.
So what do you do for whiplash?
At our office, we take a really specific set of pictures along with some specific tests that we're able to kind of quantify that amount of injury that was caused by whiplash and really educate the patient on not only what they're experiencing with that whiplash, but how those headaches that maybe popped up that they never had before are associated with that whiplash injury that they experienced.
And you hear whiplash thrown around so much. How would you define them? What does that mean from a physiological standpoint?
Good question. Whiplash really is that sudden impact of our neck going forward. And you think about it, obviously seatbelts are a great thing, but when you're wearing your seatbelt, your body is held in that position. There's nothing really supporting our neck, which upon impact causes our neck to whip forward, giving it the name whiplash. And what that whiplash does with that flexion and hyperextension motion can really cause damage to the facet joints of your spine, which one can cause pain right away, but that's one of those injuries that really tends to show up weeks, months down the road.
Well, you said facet joint, so does it get what happens to that joint that causes the pain, and what should you be looking for if you maybe got in an accident recently and go, this doesn't necessarily feel right, but it doesn't necessarily hurt that much either?
Right. So the facet joint is what's going to take the brunt of that impact when we go into that hyperextended state, and that impact can cause inflammation, just like a sprained ankle that can kind of cause that inflammation swelling. We can get that same swelling around that nerve root of your neck, which can cause those headaches that people experience quite a bit with whiplash, but also that neck and shoulder discomfort from that whiplash injury as well.
So then by seeing you, how do you guys then reduce the swelling?
Through chiropractic care, we're able to do different modalities and adjustments. The adjustment is the biggest thing to restore motion. Motion is the most important thing that we want to restore so that our body can function the way that it's supposed to, because when we have function, we don't have symptoms.
Anything else you want to add that I'm not asking you that you think is important? Or
I guess the biggest thing is, not all car accidents are the same, and cuts, scrapes, bigger gouges, things like that can happen from a car accident. Emergent care is obviously where you need to be for that. Your chiropractor or alternative care isn't the best route for that. But even with those things, if you do have those types of symptoms or those scars, bruises, things like that, seeing your chiropractor after is a great way to make sure that as a whole, musculoskeletally, that you check out fine.
Great stuff, man. So if someone wants to come see you, how do they get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of us, phone number 218-233-8544, or online at fswchiro.com.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
All right, stay with us. We got much more coming up right after this.